Our entire dorm was reborn fierce comeback. Ignite the girl power. 4 years after graduation, our roommate Yu Shuang got married and asked us to be her bridesmaids that we covered our own travel, room, board, and dresses. No red envelopes in return. The day before the wedding, we had to be at her rural hometown by 6 Adana to help decorate the bridal suite. The next evening, after the wedding, we had to find our own way back from the countryside. For the sake of sisterhood, the three of us still showed up with our gift money. Feeling like complete fools, we endured the humiliation of crude rural wedding pranks, only to hear her say, "These are my 3 maids." The groom was my college ex-boyfriend at the wedding. They told the story of their epic 8-year romance, using our ugliest dorm photos and most embarrassing moments to make the bride look elegant and classy that we finally couldn't take it anymore and smashed the big screen. That night, I woke up in my college dorm. Yu Shuang was showing off a luxury skincare set a suitor had given her. Out of the 4 of us in the dorm, 3 had been reborn. 01. I told him I don't need any more cosmetics, but he insisted on giving it to me. Christmas Eve. Such a romantic time. You think he's trying to tell me something? Yu Shuang was taking selfies with the skincare set, flaunting it, subtly and not so subtly. But she didn't notice that the way I looked at her had changed. Without anyone asking, she kept going. This senior said his girlfriend isn't as pretty as me, and my body's better. He hinting at something. He even asked me out tonight. But I'm not that kind of girl. Just then, my phone buzzed. My boyfriend sent a dorm selfie, followed by a 5.2 yuan red envelope. The message read, "Sorry, baby, stuck doing assignments on Christmas Eve. Can't be with you. When I make some money, I'll buy you a real gift." In the corner of the photo, I saw an open package from the exact same luxury skincare set. The cheapness of it made me sick, and no wonder they had an 8-year romance. They'd already been sneaking around behind my back all along. Yu Shuang slipped on my Gucci coat, swung my Chanel bag over her shoulder, and spritzed Jo Malone as she chattered. Tian, your boyfriend didn't make plans with you. I'm so jealous. I've been booked all the way since Christmas a month ago. These guys act like they've never seen a rich beauty before. I'm going to the library tonight. Put my clothes and bag down. I need them. Yu Shuang froze. Oh, I forgot to tell you. My family adds disinfectant to expired cosmetics to prevent accidents. Which foundation and perfume did you just use? Is your face stinging? Yu Shuang's face fell. She frantically wiped off her makeup, fuming. Why didn't you say so earlier? Are you trying to hurt me on purpose? I hopped off the bed and stared her down coldly. Did you ask before you helped yourself? Just because I kept quiet before doesn't mean I didn't know. Why are you suddenly so mean? It's not like it's a big deal. Yu Shuang rolled her eyes, defiant, put on a mask, and headed for the door. You're not wearing this dress either, right? I'm running late. I'll head out now, got a date. The dress she was wearing was also a designer piece of mine. A summer halter neck. Yu Shuang had grabbed a coat, but deliberately left it open, baring her shoulders as she walked through the December campus. Her curves were on full display, long wavy hair swinging, catching every passing guy's stare. Her intentions couldn't be clearer. I smiled and remotely locked my Porsche. Sure enough, less than half an hour later, Yu Shuang kicked the dorm door open, bundled in a puffer jacket, lips purple from the cold. What a loser. He actually wanted to take me on a bus, take a bus to Huaihai Road for dinner. Has he lost his mind? At the same time, my boyfriend bombarded me with 5 messages on WeChat. Why won't the Porsche start? Before I could reply, his video call came through. Yu Shuang was startled by the ringtone. She looked at me, about to speak, but I answered the call right in front of her. Dai Xiaodian. What the hell? Why'd you lock the Porsche? 02 Hearing my boyfriend's voice, Yu Shuang quickly averted her eyes. But there wasn't a trace of guilt or panic, so that's how it was. The two of them had been deliberately cheating on me all along. I've been driving that car for so long. How could you? Whose car is it, dude? I was in a bad mood. Can't I lock my own car? You said you were in the dorm doing assignments. Why do you need to drive? My tone was even sharper than his. Catching him completely off guard, he stammered. I was just asking. Why are you so worked up? I saw Yu Shuang furiously stripping off my dress on her lower bunk, and I laughed. Could it be you wanted to drive my car to take someone else on a date, to show off your borrowed wealth? Here's a funny story for you that I heard about someone going on dates wearing a friend's clothes, carrying a friend's bag, even using a friend's 3-ply tissue. I'm starting to think I didn't come here to study. I came here on a poverty alleviation mission. My boyfriend's face flushed crimson, and he hung up the video call with a snap that Yu Shuang immediately shot back. Who are you making those snide remarks about? Dai Xiaodian. My clothes were in the wash, so I borrowed yours. Are you really going to hold a few tissues over my head? I don't owe you anything. So you picked a loser boyfriend, and now you're taking it out on your roommate that I haven't done anything to you, have I? Just then, Li Xuan pushed the door open, back from the library. Carrying a full thermos, Yu Shuang immediately clung to her, all pitiful. Xian, be the judge here. Dai Xiaodian is making a huge deal over a few tissues that aren't we supposed to be good sisters? Li Xuan stared blankly and said flatly, that's not necessarily true. Li Xuan had also been reborn. After that wedding, she harbored deep resentment toward Yu Shuang, because among the humiliating photos shown at the wedding, one of her in nothing but her underwear had been displayed publicly. You all, what's gotten into you today, acting so strange? Yu Shuang awkwardly sat down, trying to change the subject. We've always been good sisters. Today you're all acting like you've taken the wrong medicine. Forget it. I won't hold it against you. Xian, pour me some hot water that I almost froze to death today. Li Xuan didn't even glance at her. She set the thermos down with a thud. If you want hot water, get it yourself, that we are not your maids. Yu Shuang froze, and her eyes instantly welled up. She retreated to her bed, weeping. I haven't done anything to you guys. Oh please, is the princess act never ending? You played us for fools before. Now that we've been given a second chance, do you think we'll still put up with it? Li Xuan shot me a look and asked if I wanted to go take a shower, completely ignoring Yu Shuang. When we came back from the shower, Yu Shuang was sitting on her bed, beaming and laughing, video calling someone. Yeah, cousin Xingzhou, I really miss you. Of course I'm in the dorm. Only 3 of us are here right now. One sister went home for the weekend. What's so curious about a girl's dorm? It's just some beds and desks that I'll show you. With that, Yu Shuang propped herself up, switched to the rear camera, and started shamelessly filming the entire dorm. I immediately wrapped myself up and warned, people are changing in here, stop filming. Yu Shuang, with her earphones in, acted like she couldn't hear me, giggling as she described everything to the GUI that Li Xuan exploded. She stormed over, hung up the call, grabbed Yu Shuang, and slapped her hard across the face. Did you not hear me? Someone is changing in here, and there's underwear drying. Who are you filming this for? Yu Shuang shrieked like a banshee. Shengzhou is my cousin. What's wrong with showing him? Like anyone would want to film you anyway. No one would want to see a fat pig like you naked. 03 Li Xuan went silent. She was from the north, 170 centimeters, and under 130 gene. How was that fat? Her eyes, brimming with hatred, bore into Yu Shuang. Rage surged through her. You're disgusting. With her considerable strength, she shoved Yu Shuang down onto the bed, roughly snatched her phone, and forced it unlocked using Yu Shuang's fingers. "What are you doing? Give me back my phone." Li Xuan signaled to me with her eyes grim-faced. I opened Yu Shuang's photo gallery. After scrolling only a little, I found the problematic pictures that my drying bras, Su Yumeng and Li Xuan mid-change, and a completely nude photo of Li Xuan changing. When I reached that one, I handed the phone to Li Xuan, and her eyes instantly reddened. This? I must have slipped. I don't even know when it was taken." Yu Shuang stammered, then turned her face away and stubbornly retorted, "What business is it of yours what's on my phone? Stop snooping through my private stuff. That's illegal, you know." The next second, she let out a blood-curdling scream as Li Xuan tore the clothes off her body. "You crazy fat pig, you." Li Xuan stuffed the torn fabric into her mouth, stripped her completely naked, and threw her onto the bed. With the door wide open and the lights bright, Yu Shuang turned ghostly pale, huddled on the bed, trembling and whimpering. "I'm warning you. I've deleted everything from your phone that if I ever catch you taking creepy photos again, I'll strip you naked and dump you right in front of the teaching building. Got it?" Tears and snot streaming down her face, Yu Shuang nodded frantically. Only then did Li Xuan let her go, turning to grab a basin and do her laundry. After a moment to collect herself, Yu Shuang quickly threw on new clothes, grabbed her phone, and bolted for the door. "Were you planning to report this to the counselor?" "Go ahead, but Li Xuan is stubborn as a mule. I have a feeling she'll fight this all the way. What do you think will happen if this blows up?" Yu Shuang stopped dead at the door, fists clenched tight, red eyes still streaming tears that I walked over with a cold smile, took her arm, and pretended to soothe her. "All right, making a big scene isn't good for anyone, and we're all good dorm sisters, right?" Yu Shuang looked at me through her tears, a flash of cunning and calculation in her eyes. In an instant, she put on a wronged expression. "Of course we're good sisters. I just wanted to record all our little moments together so we'd have memories after graduation. How could Li Xuan treat me like this?" What a smooth-talking, twist-everything mouth. Pure green tea vibes, and no wonder she fooled us all before. She's probably just stressed from juggling 3 part-time jobs that were all good sisters. Just let it go. Yu Shuang wiped her tears, put on a fake smile, and grabbed my hand. "You're right. Good sisters shouldn't sweat the small stuff. That Xuan's a country girl with a bad temper, but I'm a well-brought-up city girl. I'll be the bigger person and forgive her." That night, Yu Shuang sent several long messages to our 4th roommate, Su Yumeng, essentially saying, "I'm being ostracized and bullied in the dorm. Li Xuan even assaulted me. If you're willing to stand up for me, we can go to the counselor together and get the school to discipline Li Xuan, that I won't let her get away with it. Oh, you think Dai Xiaodian is genuinely nice to you? She's so rich. Why would she ever look down on someone like you? Do you think Li Xuan is genuinely nice to you? She's jealous that you're a Shanghai native. She curses you behind your back all the time. That I'm your only true friend left. We need to stick together." Su Yumeng immediately forwarded the messages to me with just 3 words. "Is she sick?" Su Yumeng had also been reborn. She was lucky. Her underwear photo hadn't been taken. But at the wedding, Yu Shuang had shamelessly mocked her. Having a Shanghai hookup doesn't mean anything. Her parents are still dead. She's not as happy as I am with a rural hookup. 04 Su Yumeng's parents died in a car accident after college. That remark was what made her the first to hurl something at the big screen. That night, the 3 of us analyzed in our WeChat group exactly why we had been so thoroughly played by Yu Shuang in our previous life. We were all first-time dorm residents, always thinking we should be tolerant and accommodating. Living together for 4 years felt like gaining 3 extra family members. Family members have princess complexes, take small advantages, speak bluntly. She had flaws, and we certainly had ours, so we let things slide. After graduation, when Yu Shuang tearfully said she couldn't find bridesmaids, we once again went along like suckers that we never expected she'd trample all over our bottom lines at the wedding, revealing her trash character for all to see. So this time around, none of us planned to let her off easy. The next Monday in class, Yu Shuang stuck to Su Yumeng the whole time, sitting together in the back row, sharing a textbook, chatting intimately. Her little scheme was painfully obvious. During class, my boyfriend sent a message asking why he couldn't log into my QQ account. The QQ account was linked to Honor of Kings that I played on WeChat and didn't use the QQ version, but it had all skins unlocked, and I'd always let my boyfriend use the account. After my rebirth, I changed all the passwords. I instinctively glanced back at Yu Shuang. Sure enough, she was holding her phone horizontally, waiting in the Honor of Kings lobby. I pulled out my QQ, logged into the game, and instantly got an invite from "Don't bull a little Shuang ya." Yu Shuang typed in the team chat. Just 1 star left. Hurry and carry me to King Ya. Mooching off Gij's skins feels so good. She and my account were even using matching couple avatars. Absolutely disgusting. In my previous life, the two of them had been flaunting it right in my face, and I hadn't even noticed. I joined the match, picked a jungler, stole Yu Shuang's minions, stole her kills, and fed her to the enemy. She was so furious she nearly threw her phone several times. But I carried her to victory, while Yu Shuang dashed excitedly into the restroom, switched on voice chat, and cooed. Thanks, Gij, for carrying me to King. But before she could finish, I yanked the stall door open and shoved the victory screen right in her face, licking someone else's boyfriend in the bathroom. Does it taste that good? Is that piece of trash better than me? Can he carry you to King with a 12-0 score? Or drive a Porsche to take you shopping on Huaihai Road? Since you love picking through garbage, how about I move the whole dumpster onto your bed so you can dig through it day and night? You two dating on my dime. What am I, your goddamn father? Should I bankroll you until you get married and he takes a wife? Yu Shuang's face went crimson, wedged awkwardly in the stall, 1 foot rubbing the other. She mumbled, "Who are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. I'm just playing a game with your boyfriend. Are you jealous?" Just then, Li Xuan pushed the door open and clomped over, eyes wide. "What's this? I hear she's been acting like a slut and a mistress." Without missing a beat, Li Xuan was about to roll up her sleeves and throw punches. Yu Shuang, scared stiff, jumped so high she nearly hit the ceiling, then ducked under Li Xuan's arm and bolted. Su Yumeng walked past carrying Yu Shuang's bag, shot us a reassuring look, and called after her, "Shuang Shuang, what's the rush?" Pretending to be concerned, she chased after Yu Shuang until they both disappeared. Trash-talking my family was crossing a line that I figured Yu Shuang latching on a Su Yumeng would end even worse for her. Right then, my boyfriend kept blowing up my phone. Li Xuan saw me ignoring it and asked straight up, "Want me to tear that jerk a new one for you?" How could I let him die just yet? I had to keep him around so I could torment him properly. While Li Xuan was at the sink slathering Vaseline on her hands, she said, "Anyway, don't let him fool you again. I remember last time, you guys broke up senior year. This time, do it sooner." She'd taken a dishwashing job in the back kitchen. Her hands were red, cracked, and so cold sometimes she couldn't even hold a pen. Her family was from one of the country's officially designated poorest counties. After being reborn, she set her sights on riding the self-media wave to make money. Back in those years, individual creators got plenty of incentives, and the pink and black platforms were only just taking off. So Li Xuan was grinding at 3 different jobs, all to save up for a DJI drone, so she could shoot videos. I offered to help, but she said confidently she didn't need it. She was sure she'd make bank this time around. And now, she didn't even want to apply for financial aid. Let the students who truly needed it have it. But never in a million years did we expect that the very day the financial aid announcements went out, as soon as someone brought up Li Xuan's name, Yu Shuang would spam the class WeChat group with 4 or 5 selfies, captioned, "Met a rich friend. This DJI is the latest model. Right? Totally awesome. My roommate just bought a brand new DJI. Who knew she scrimped and saved every penny just for a luxury hobby like this? She's so amazing." Sneaking a touch of Xuan's, my roommates. DJI red heart. She deleted them almost immediately, but plenty of people already saw. Then she posted a tongue-out emoji with a bitchy, "Oops, wrong place," and promptly reposted the same thing on her moments that I figured Li Xuan was still at work and hadn't checked her phone. Otherwise, she'd have reached through the screen and torn Yu Shuang limb from limb. The next second, a private message from class president Su Yumeng pinged in. Yu Shuang actually applied for financial aid, but she's already getting her paperwork together. What do you say? Should we arrange a little something for her? 05 Yu Shuang was no poor student. She cultivated a Shanghai rich girl persona, used the latest phone models, and her moments were nothing but flaunting wealth. But the moment she applied for that subsidy, she hid every one of her social media accounts and started making a show of eating nothing but a boxed lunch of plain vegetables in the cafeteria every day. Putting on an act, for God knows whose benefit. Class president Su Yumeng had handled her application materials. The paperwork claimed her family was destitute. Both parents laid off and paralyzed, saddled with crushing debt that had them contemplating suicide. Yet we'd attended her wedding back in her hometown. Her parents were liquor distributors, the richest family in the whole village, and the crowd of relatives who came to the wedding revelry filled the entire street. The students who were genuinely struggling would lose out on this money, while a fraud like her just snatches it. So Su Yumeng and I went to see our class advisor. After the class meeting that day, the advisor shut the door, placed a box on the podium, and said, "I'd like everyone to stay a few more minutes, that we're a united class, and we need to help a classmate in need. Yu Shuang." Yu Shuang froze on the spot, completely oblivious to the show about to unfold that I pulled out 100 yuan and dropped it into the box. Yu Shuang is my roommate that I've been worried she's hiding something. So I'm speaking up for her. It seems something terrible has happened to her family. She's been scrimping like you wouldn't believe, a complete turnaround from before. The advisor let out a pained sigh. Yu Shuang, please don't be embarrassed, and please don't do anything foolish. We, as a class, will help you through this. Yu Shuang shot to her feet, mouth opening and closing helplessly, her furious glare practically burning 2 holes right through me. Su Yumeng gasped, hand over her mouth. Shuang, something that serious happened at home. No wonder you wiped your socials clean. I heard you're even trying to sell off your clothes and bags at dirt cheap prices. Oh my God. Is there anything I can do to help? No. It's really not that bad. I'm not short on money. Yu Shuang was sweating bullets, clutching her phone so hard her knuckles turned white, completely at a loss for how to explain. If you don't need money, why'd you apply for financial aid? Don't keep putting up a front. I fished out another 100 yuan and dropped it in. Classmates, I think making this a donation drive might hurt Yu Shuang's pride. She might feel we're pitying her. That's not it. We genuinely want to help. This 200 is for the clothes I'm buying from her. Please, everyone, support Yu Shuang's little business. Help her sell off her clothes, makeup, whatever. Show some love, okay? The room erupted. Many students followed suit and dropped money into the box. While Yu Shuang hopped mad and finally collapsed in her chair, wiping away tears. The advisor patted her shoulder to comfort her, but she sobbed and accused. Teacher, please don't do this. It's so humiliating. Why did you have to make my situation public? How am I supposed to face everyone now? Su Yumeng took her hand, speaking with heartfelt gravity. I think the advisor did the right thing, that I'm afraid you might do something stupid. Just a week ago you were wearing Gucci, carrying Chanel, arriving in a Porsche, head to toe worth over $100,000, and lately, you can't even bring yourself to eat anything but a 4 yuan vegetarian meal. Who can handle that kind of fall? I have to pull you back up. You're my best friend. Yu Shuang clutched Su Yumeng's hand so tightly that her nails nearly dug into flesh. Gritting her teeth, she squeezed out 5 words. I really thank you. Su Yumeng smiled through her own tears, shaking her head. Silly girl. Who else but my best sister? By the time we got back to the dorm, the story had been juiced up and spread far and wide. Yu Shuang, supposedly from an impoverished rural family, struck by disaster with both parents laid off and paralyzed, drowning in debt, and then the financial aid thing. Rumor even had it she'd nearly jumped off a building. So, led by the dorm matron, a long line of well-meaning students began snaking outside our room, ready to donate. By supporting Yu Shuang's little fire sale, high heels, dresses, handbags, cosmetics, anything that could be sold was sold at rock-bottom prices. Plenty of those big brand items got called out as fakes, and she had to refund people while blushing furiously. Her rich girl persona was smashed to dust. In the end, she sat dazed in front of her stripped bare wardrobe, tears streaming, too humiliated to even voice her misery. Whoops, I got back too late to help with your business. Li Xuan planted her hands on her hips and tossed a 10 yuan bill onto Yu Shuang's desk. I bust my ass every day trying to make money, and I voluntarily gave up my spot for financial aid so it could go to students who actually need it. Not some liar. But hey, if someone's that desperate to go begging, I can spare 10 yuan and take pity on her. After all, that's what beggars do. Yu Shuang whipped her head up, eyes blazing with uncontrollable rage. With a shriek, she lunged at Li Xuan, scratching wildly. Nobody asked you, you fat cow. Even if I'm broke, my family still has more money than yours. It all happened too fast that in an instant, bloody scratches appeared on Li Xuan's neck. She grabbed Yu Shuang with one hand and yanked her away. Yu Shuang lost her footing and smacked her head hard against the bed frame. Dazed, that night, Yu Shuang was carried to the school clinic, crying and screaming for the administration to give her an explanation. The officials had no choice but to get both parents involved. But Li Xuan's father was disabled, and her mother needed dialysis every week. It would take 4 or 5 days for them to get here from the countryside. At the soonest, my own parents were off doing charity work somewhere in Africa and couldn't return either. Only Su Yumeng's parents were local. The two of us put our heads together. We'd get Su Yumeng's mom and dad to come. I'd foot the bill. She'd supply the parents. We had to get justice for Li Xuan. 06 During freshman move-in, parents weren't allowed to escort students. So Yu Shuang had never met Su Yumeng's parents. To make a strong impression, I borrowed a friend's Maybach Zeppelin. Though, as it turned out, Yu Shuang's parents didn't even recognize this ultra-rare car in Shanghai. There were only a handful in the entire city. They took the initiative to invite everyone in our dorm to meet at the campus Western restaurant. Yu Shuang's mom opened her mouth with pure venom. The two of you must be from the countryside, right? This meal is on us. Feel free to order all the things you've never tried. The thing is, a child's upbringing really does depend on the family. Yu Shuang was raised to be honest, gentle, and well-behaved, but she's not like other children. Hearing that, I felt my fists clench involuntarily. Li Xuan retorted in a similarly sarcastic tone, secretly filming her roommate getting changed, forging documents to get financial aid, brawling in the dorm, and hurting another student. Yeah, she's definitely not like other children. Yu Shuang's face contorted, and she stood up angrily. Li Xuan, don't you slander me. I've cleared everything up. Oh, you cleared up something illegal. Why don't you explain it to the police and see if that works? Yu Shuang's dad darkened and leaned in, voice low and threatening. Don't be ungrateful. In Shanghai, I have 10,000 ways to make sure your daughter can't stay afloat if you don't apologize. Do you even want to keep going to school? After that, he suddenly stood up, grabbed a bottle of red wine from the table, and without a second thought hurled it at the Maybach. The crisp shatter scared the hell out of everyone. My heart nearly stopped. That was a borrowed Maybach. See that? That bottle of wine you can't even afford. I can smash as many as I want. What status does your family have to bully my daughter? Rolling up in some no-name car trying to put on airs. I just smashed your car. Go ahead, name your repair fee. Su Yumeng's parents were stunned with fury. Both were teachers. They'd never encountered parents with such low class. In the end, all they managed was a sputtered. I've never seen such a shameless bully. Li Xuan stood up with a grin. Uncle, didn't you say you were laid off, paralyzed? How are you standing up, smashing cars? I've got to admire your guts. Tossing bottles at a multi-million yuan luxury car like it's nothing. Clearly you've got money to burn. I was so furious my hair practically stood on end. Without a moment's hesitation, I called the police détective first. Yu Shuang's parents didn't believe it. But the second the cops arrived, they looked like their souls had been sucked out. Their legs turned to jelly. As for Yu Shuang, she'd been pale-faced and shrinking in her chair, not saying a word. The first thing out of her mouth when the officers came was, "My dad smashed the car? It wasn't me." Li Xuan quietly retrieved the phone she'd hidden in a flower pot to record everything. Knowing the family's track record of slander, she'd set up the camera in advance. She discreetly blurred the faces and posted it on the Black video platform. Within a few hours, it went viral. Millions of netizens were online tracking down the arrogant Shanghai family. 4 or 5 TV stations vied to contact Yu Shuang, one of them being the People's Daily, the kind with the blue certified V that Yu's father brazenly played the rogue at the police station. How was I supposed to know what kind of car that was? I'm not paying. That girl hurt my daughter first. I was just acting in self-defense. Li Xuan, hearing that, silently handed her phone to the officer. This is too big. Let's just go straight to the evidence. Before midnight, Yu Shuang's entire family had been stripped bare, every last secret exposed. The school's phone lines nearly melted down. Incensed netizens exposed her fraudulent financial aid application and demanded a full investigation into the room photographing incident. With the People's Daily calling them out by name, Yu Shuang's family became infamous even in their own village. Word was they tried to sneak back home to hide, but relatives and friends reported them before they could even set off. Under the weight of public outrage, Yu Shuang voluntarily confessed to slandering Li Xuan that a string of disciplinary notices scrolled across the school's official website for a solid week, so thoroughly disgraced that she was cursed at just walking around campus. She ended up taking leave and hiding at home. Rumor had it her parents sold their house in the village to pay for the car repairs. The day after Yu Shuang fled home, my boyfriend suddenly fired off 4 or 5 messages to me. Was my roommate the one with the Maybach? Who was she? Was she single? His buddy wanted to get to know her. I sneered. I'd been so busy dealing with Yu Shuang these past few days that I'd completely forgotten about that scumbag. How dare he still have the nerve to bark? I replied. Transfer me 20,000, and I'll send you the Maybach roommate's contact info, 07. I met my boyfriend, Ji Jirue, at the freshman welcome party. He was a sophomore, head of the arts and sports department, and pretty popular with the girls. Back then, I was a vain kid, Saw everyone else had boyfriends, so I figured I needed one too, and I reached out to him. My generous spending gave him major bragging rights among his buddies. His popularity gave me face with my friends, so we went public. Later, in my senior year, I was busy preparing to go abroad, but he kept messaging me about some startup, asking me to invest. Annoyed, I told him off and dumped him. Never imagined that over 4 years together, he and Yu Shuang had been treating me like an ATM. 6,000. Okay, we're both students. Where would I get that kind of money? Ji Jirue asked. I smirked. Point one word from him, and I knew exactly what he was after. Asterisk his buddy asterisk? Please, that I bet he's the one angling to suck up to a sugar mama. That I shot back. You think the Maybach girl's contact info is that easy to get? Without showing a little appreciation, you think she'd ever give your buddy the time of day? After sending that, I went back to the dorm, pulled out my calculator, and tallied every cent I'd spent on him over the past half semester. Just as I finished, his transfer came through. That's really all, just 6,000. His family's not well off either. He just wants to get to know the Maybach girl. I put down my phone and asked Su Yumeng, is that 40-year-old Madame Wang, the widow downstairs in your building, still on WeChat? Forward me her contact. That social butterfly Madame Wang. She slathered herself in filters until she looked like Fan Bingbing online, and her Zaihongshu and Weibo were full of those fairy tale posts. A post, 95, who bought a villa in Jing'an district in cold, hard cash before turning 20. She'd been humiliated once trying to pass herself off as a freshman at a university, and Su Yumeng had turned it into a running joke that I did the math, forwarded Madame Wang's WeChat to Ji Jirue, and added, I think I'm done with this. It's pretty pointless. Calculate how much you owe me, and send it via Alipay. Ji Jirue played dead. That I expected that. I dug through my spending records, made an itemized list, printed a stack of flyers at the dorm's copy shop, and plastered them around the entrance of the men's dormitory the next morning. The flyer read, Men's Dorm 0 Yuan Sale Location. East Dormitory, Room 1235, Bed 4. Ji Jirue's bed. Take one item each. First come first served. Any problems? Come to me. Dai Xiaodian Alienware Laptop J Sneakers La Prairie Skin Caviar Luxe Cream Mask. Blue bottle. Feel free to gift to your girlfriend. Vinda Soft Pack Tissues. The thick kind. For ply. CK Underwear. Used. Dirty. Taking not recommended. After putting up the flyers, I went to class. Before it even ended, Ji Jirue started bombing my WeChat. Walls of cursing, calling me a stingy, petty cheapskate that I didn't read the rest. I just sent him a payment QR code for 1,314 yuan with a note. Want to get back together? Show some sincerity. Or do you still prefer using my money to hit on my roommate? Ji Jirue froze for a few seconds, then went into a frenzy, sending voice messages and video calls that I could almost see him foaming at the mouth through the screen. Before deleting me, he sneered. But just a bumpkin in a Porsche. What are you so smug about? Don't regret this. I figured with that kind of confidence, he must have set his sights on the Maybach sugar mama. Sure enough, not long after, Madame Wang updated her Weibo with a post featuring a heap of luxury goods, and a screenshot of Ji Jirue fawning over her in chat, his profile picture uncensored. The caption read, When you bloom, butterflies come naturally. Honestly, I'm not as exceptional as he says. I just have a bit more ability than others. 08 Some guys from my class went to the men's dorm giveaways and later came back to tease me, saying my breakup with Ji Jirue had caused quite a scene, that he'd lost major face. Then they lectured me. A little girl like me shouldn't be so petty. Spreading gossip wasn't a good look. That made me laugh in sheer frustration. I asked one of them, so, how were those free AJs? Know who paid for them? He shut up and walked away. Yu Shuang vanished for a full month, then suddenly reappeared 2 weeks before finals. In that era, internet scandals didn't simmer long. A month was enough to cool even an explosive buzz to nothing that she'd changed her name to Yu Anxia and gotten double eyelid surgery. Aside from close friends, most people had forgotten the old stories. She was now on academic suspension, on probation for expulsion, and had completely dropped her flashy style. The moment she returned to the dorm, she apologized to everyone, saying what was past was past. Let's not hold grudges. From now on, we're still best sisters. She even handed out printed exam review guides that she'd gotten early from the teacher, exclusively for us 3 good girlfriends. When it was my turn, she crouched beside me, quietly showed me her phone, and said, "Ji Jiawei, tried reaching out a few times, but I never answered. He's deleted me now. It's not worth falling out with your best sister over some loser guy. Tian, let's just be good to each other and ignore those losers." In the past, I would have totally believed Yu Anxia's apology was sincere. This time, I kept my guard up. Scumbags really aren't worth it. I heard he's chasing some sugar mama on Zaihangshu now. Also from our school. Looks like he didn't just dump me. He ditched you too. Yu Anxia froze for a moment. From our school? Which major? Well, it's none of my business. I just want to study quietly and keep a low profile now. I saw right through her little game, but just smiled and said nothing. Later, our teacher also sent out the review materials electronically, so we didn't waste paper printing them. Honestly, reviewing didn't matter much anyway. All 3 of us went on to grad school after graduation, so we hadn't forgotten the freshman basics. Only Yu Anxia acted smug, convinced our dorm got a head start on everyone else thanks to her. During the exam prep period, Madame Wang's Weibo was unusually active, occasionally posting interactions with Ji Jiawei. Until one day, she posted a snide remark. "Oh, now some little sister wants to know me too. You reek of it the second you open your mouth." In the wee hours, she hired a bot army to distance herself completely, pinning everything on Ji Jiawei. He was the one hounding her while two-timing, warning other girls to open their eyes and avoid such losers. Public opinion turned squarely against Ji Jiawei. Madame Wang then went full-on furious, storming the school, nearly stripping Ji Jiawei in the study hall, sitting on the floor screaming for him to take responsibility. Practically a Hollywood blockbuster. Eventually, a teacher called the police to take her away. Ji Jiawei's humiliation became campus-wide legend. I heard his family paid off Madame Wang to settle things. After that, everyone completely forgot Yu Anxia's past. The hot gossip was all about the love affair between the young widow and the college boy. Terrified, Ji Jiawei stopped leaving his dorm and later switched majors, transferring to the remote West Campus Software Park. I never saw him again. But the night before finals, Ji Jiawei suddenly sent me a friend request, accompanied by piles of crying emojis. After I accepted, he first sent a review file for my major. "I worked so hard to get this top secret material that you'll need it for tomorrow's exam. Cram some more tonight." I checked the file size, identical to the one our teacher sent. What a liar. "I've missed you lately," he said. "When I love someone, I don't care if she's rich or poor. Can we talk and try again?" I sneered, then sent him 3 payment requests, 520, 1314, and 888. Same lie. "If you want to talk, show some sincerity." Ji Jiawei hesitated, then accepted the first 2. The third he left hanging, his status stuck on typing for ages. I deleted him instantly and posted a moment. Being a sucker's personal ATM is so convenient. After deleting him, on a whim, I downloaded the teacher's electronic review materials to compare them, and was absolutely stunned. The teacher's file was over 20 pages longer than what Yuan Xia had printed. Was Yuan Xia doing this on purpose? I dug out the hard copy she'd printed for herself and found it matched the electronic version word for word. Only our printouts were missing huge chunks. No wonder, in her past life, she always rushed to print review sheets every final season, urging us not to bother with the electronic versions because paper was more portable. Just how many times had she tricked us? 10-inch ugh. This is too hard. I don't want to study anymore. I'm going to bed early. Yuan Xia lamented as she climbed into bed, pretending to give up, right before lights out at 11, but just after midnight. She quietly grabbed her phone, jumped down, and went to the first-floor study hall to cram. Honestly, if she'd just been secretly studying without telling us, we wouldn't have found it disgusting. But she was always pulling these little stunts. In our previous life, we never crossed her in. Academics. Why did she instinctively try to hurt the people around her? We absolutely couldn't let her get away with it. When final grades came out, advanced math had, predictably, a huge failure rate. Our class's pass rate was only 40%. Yuan Xia deliberately started a group voice call, her voice dripping with fake tears. Oh no, everyone. This advanced math exam was so hard. I only got 80. I couldn't even solve the easy problems. I'm so stupid. You guys must have scored way higher, right? I let out a cold laugh and posted a screenshot. 92. Li Xuan. 90. Su Yumeng. 97. If it was that easy, not breaking 90 is pretty questionable. So unlike you. We all reviewed together. Su Yumeng shot back with dripping sarcasm. Why Yuan Xia looked like she'd swallowed a bitter pill, the corners of her mouth drooping helplessly. In the background, Su Yumeng was at the school dorm. She was a local and had purposely gone back during winter break. When the next semester's schedule came out, she'd taken all of Yuan Xia's textbooks and edited them. The linear algebra book kept only odd-numbered pages, probability only even, and everything after Unit 6 in college physics was just ripped out. In a nutshell. Want a complete textbook? Figure it out yourself. Don't blame us if you miss things. Why Yuan Xia was the type who barely paid attention in class, copied homework, and crammed at the last minute before exams. After spring semester started, she somehow didn't notice her textbooks were missing pages for months, until right before Qingming Festival. When the teacher outlined the quiz scope, she discovered the gaps, and it was every single book. She asked in our group chat what exactly was on the quiz. I immediately sent her a 4 megabytes PDF. Once it was past the recall window, Su Yumeng urgently ed her, claiming it was a mistake, and sent a 800 kilobytes version instead, with the two of us playing good cop/bad cop. Suspicious Yuan Xia was bound to pick the larger file. Good luck sleeping tonight. Cram away. Sure enough, on quiz day, Yuan Xia walked into the exam hall with dark panda circles and unsteady steps, but all smiles and brimming with confidence. Then she saw the test paper. Not a single question could she answer. She turned it in first, in tears. Back in the dorm, she didn't dare lash out at me, so she took it out on Su Yumeng instead. What's wrong with you? You'd even trick me. About the quiz scope? Is this how you screw over your good sisters? Haven't I been good enough to everyone? What more do you want before you leave me alone? Su Yumeng slapped her right back, without mercy. Who tampered with the exam scope first? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Last semester's final review. You dare say that wasn't deliberate? You didn't bother checking the electronic version yourselves, so blame me. Missing a few pages is your own fault. Besides, you got great grades anyway. What's a few less pages of review? All this treachery. Watch your whole family suffer. After her rebirth, Su Yumeng's deepest fear was her parents' car accident repeating, and those words were taboo. Rage flashed in her eyes, and she lunged at Yuan Xia. The next second, her phone rang. Her parents had been in an accident downtown. She needed to get there immediately. Point 11 Qingming. Car accident. Rebirth. Too many triggering words collided at once. Su Yumeng was terrified out of her mind. And on the cab ride there, she was already crying her eyes out. But when we got to the scene, it turned out her parents had simply hit someone's pet dog with their car. New car, new driver, new dog. Both her parents and the pet owner were completely dumbfounded. Su Yumeng's parents were almost 40 when they had her. They devoted their lives to teaching and were hopeless at practical matters. The insurance company told them to call someone in the family who understood these things, so they rang Su Yumeng. After everything was settled, her parents insisted on treating our whole dorm to a meal. They especially asked for Yuanxia to come. Why invite her? Did the 600 Wamping South Road let out on holiday or something? Su Yumeng rolled her eyes and cursed at why Yuanxia walked over and sat down just then, completely baffled. When she looked up and saw Su Yumeng's parents, she froze. At Su Yumeng explained lazily. Forgot to tell you. They're actually my parents. Li Xian's parents couldn't make it, so I asked them to play the part. The luxury car isn't mine. Either dim Y family's just ordinary. That you're not mad, are you? We're good sisters, after all. Yuanxia shot to her feet, shaking with rage. If you're so ordinary, why did you put on that act? And who got the money for smashing up the car? I answered with a straight face. It went to my friend. That I borrowed the car from a rich guy. Of course I had to pay for the damage. That's rich. Her family's ordinary, but she never flaunts being from Shanghai. Meanwhile, you can't stop going on about being Shanghainese. What? Does your ID number start with 310? You know what Wamping South Road means. They're calling you sick in the head. Yuanxia's eyes turned red with hatred in an instant. She looked like she wanted to tear me apart. You've all been treating me like an idiot? That's right. Because in your last life, you treated everyone else like idiots. Su Yumeng's mother rushed out to play peacemaker, saying that sharing a dorm room was fate. Only after a lot of persuasion did we let it drop. I watched Yuanxia with a grin. Exactly, what's past is past. Why hold a grudge? You said it yourself. We're still good sisters, right, Yuanxia? Every disgusting word she'd ever used against us, I threw right back at her. Why Yuanxia, red-eyed, jabbed at the dishes with her head down, wronged but unable to out-talk me. After the meal, Su Yumeng said she wanted to stop by Jing'an Temple nearby to get a safety talisman. Ever since her rebirth, she'd become superstitious about that kind of thing. She felt Yuanxia's curse was too ominous and insisted on getting a talisman to ward it off. The rest of us followed along and drew fortune sticks. 2. Back at the dorm, Yuanxia shoved the talisman she'd gotten under her pillow and rested her head squarely on it. As luck would have it, the night we returned after Qingming, there was a cockroach in the room. The rest of us shrieked and chased it all over, flipping beds and the floor inside out. And in the process, we uncovered Yuanxia's talisman. It lay there on the floor, boldly written with a few words. May Su Yumeng's whole family die. Su Yumeng stood frozen for several seconds, her brain short-circuited by fury, staring blankly at Yuanxia, at why Yuanxia, feigning composure, picked up the talisman, tore it to pieces, and threw it in the trash. Just something I scribbled. A childish joke. You wouldn't take it seriously, right? 12 That night, Su Yumeng didn't lay a hand on Yuanxia. Just as a fight was about to break out, the counselor called to say that Yuanxia's mother had a sudden heart attack during an argument and passed away. We were told to stay with her until her family came to take her to the hospital. I remembered from my last life that her mother really did have a weak heart, a condition lingering from when they risked having a second child to avoid fines. One moment, she was cursing someone else's whole family dead. The next, Retribution had arrived that fast that Yu Xiao looked as wilted as a leek left in the sun. Utterly broken as she got into her uncle's car to head home for the funeral, she only showed up briefly at finals before leaving again. By then, we'd already decided not to hold things against her anymore. If all the wrongs she'd committed in her past life deserved punishment, then her mother's death was the heaviest price of all. Everyone has their own path ahead. Whatever became of her, let it be. That summer break, Li Xuan's video submission went viral on a pink-themed video platform, and her followers shot past 400,000, earning her a small measure of fame among young people. When school started again, we were shocked to discover that Yu Xiao had gotten minor plastic surgery. Her nose, lips, and eyes all looked a bit like Li Xuan's, down to the identical beauty mark at the corner of her eye. She offered no explanation, just pulled out her phone and said coolly, "I'm doing social media now, too." After that, every episode of her channel was a blatant copy of Li Xuan's, stealing her topics, riding the trends, signing with a talent agency. Li Xuan kept a low profile in real life, and was even less willing to flaunt her identity on campus. But Yu Xiao flaunted hers everywhere. She often preened and basked in autograph requests at the dining hall, but we were disgusted. But after what happened to her mom, we truly let it go. During sophomore year, Su Yumeng and I started a new energy venture. Yu Xiao wasted no time copying that too. Back then, campus ambassador and campus advisor gigs were all the rage. Word got out that she became a campus referral rep for some white note platform, trading on the name of a big tech company and making another splash among our peers. Effortlessly, she turned into the goddess senior to the new freshmen that she'd swan back to the dorm and sneer at us. "What future is there in your crappy electric scooters? You're so rigid-minded and incompetent. How can you even compare to me?" I shot back with a sarcastic jab. "But you don't have a mom." Su Yumeng echoed. "But you don't have a mom." Yu Xiao's face went green in an instant, her cheeks trembling with rage. "Don't get so smug. If you're jealous, just say so. No need to jab at someone's sore spot. But I'm on a whole different level now that I'm moving out of the dorm next semester. That I bought an apartment downtown. From now on, we've got nothing to do with each other." Li Xuan, adjusting her camera, suddenly said, "That's not necessarily true. In court, I'll be the plaintiff suing for plagiarism, and you'll be the defendant." Yu Xiao froze, then glared at her even more defiantly. "Go ahead and sue if you've got the guts. Try bringing down my whole talent agency too. Go up against capital, and you'll end up with not even ashes left." She slammed the door on her way out. Sometime later, I ran into the class monitor, a former ASU guy who'd been decent to me afterward. He pulled me aside and asked, "How come Yu Xiao's the only one from your dorm who applied for the exchange program? The rest of you have better GPAs. Sure you don't want to reconsider?" I vaguely recalled something about that, but the deadline was far off. Had it already closed? Same old Yu Xiao. What was she up to this time? 13. A bunch of majors at our university had joint programs with schools abroad, offering a year as an exchange student in junior year. The sign-up window was tight, and the teacher had notified the class monitor that very night that Yu Xiao proactively got the paper forms from him, claiming she'd ask all the girls. She told everyone the deadline was next month, but in reality it was only 3 days. In the end, Yu Xiao was the only one registered. What a pity. None of you girls want to go. With Yu Xiao's terrible GPA, she probably won't get in anyway. Even though the school wasn't amazing, I was furious that Yu Xiao had pulled another trick at the next class meeting. I set her up. The teacher invited Yu Xiao to share her experience as a campus ambassador, praising her outstanding performance that year. Once she'd finished gloating, I stepped up to the podium with a smile and announced some good news. The exchange student application deadline got moved up. The monitor was afraid we'd miss it. So he submitted all the girls' materials for review in advance. More than half got approved. The room went silent for a second, then exploded in chatter. Some delighted, some frowning, all discussing it. You heard right. He acted first and reported later. But if you don't want to go, you can always withdraw the application. Yuan Xia's expression changed. Amid the chaos, Su Yumeng quietly switched Yuan Xia's projection back to the main screen. The main screen showed WeChat. Panicking on stage, Yuan Xia messaged the monitor directly. What's going on? I only gave you one name on the registration form. How come everyone signed up? The big screen broadcast the message live. Gradually, the class fell silent. Eyes fixed on the screen. Why Yuan Xia sent another? Did you submit the wrong one? None of them are applying. Only I am. A girl from the neighboring dorm stood up. Yuan Xia, what's the meaning of this? Yuan Xia was puzzled at first, then saw the huge screen behind her and turned to stone, as if struck by lightning. Cold sweat instantly broke out. Standing by, I said icily. What you're seeing is the truth that Wei Yuan Xia took the paper forms on her own initiative, but told everyone the deadline was a month away. It was actually 3 days. She only signed herself up. Technically, it's not illegal, since she had no obligation to inform everyone. But isn't it just disgusting? Yuan Xia slammed her laptop shut and jutted her chin stubbornly. If you want to be an exchange student, find your own way. There's only one slot. We're in competition. Why should I be your nanny? Immediately, a girl from another dorm packed her bag and left, spitting out a curt insult. Low class. One by one, all the girls in the class walked out, leaving Yuan Xia with nothing but dirty looks. The monitor, his face burning, called a bunch of his buddies and left too. Soon the classroom was empty except for us few, enjoying the show. Not long after, a message chain appeared in the class group, initiated by the monitor. Yuan Xia is under disciplinary probation and has already been expelled from the student registry. There are also integrity issues. Should we keep her in the class group? Within half an hour, every response was no. Just as Yuan Xia was puffing out threats, she was kicked from the group. After she moved out of the dorm to focus on her career, we rarely saw her on campus. Then one day, someone spotted her in a shared rental place off campus. She'd boasted about moving into a downtown apartment, but in fact, she and her boyfriend had rented a subdivided flat near the school. I looked closely at the photo. Her live-in boyfriend was Ji Jiroe. Interesting. 14 Li Xuan spent her entire sophomore year pursuing the plagiarism case. In those early days of self-media, when capital hadn't yet sunk its hooks deep, she was convinced she could get justice. By junior year, JD Baijiao had arrived on campuses, whipping up a wave of student enthusiasm for finance. But its popularity was soon overtaken by ads for another financial product. I studied the flyer carefully. It was a P2P platform. Among the backers was Ji Jiroe. Before long, a spokesperson emerged. Yuan Xia. People saw Yuan Xia showing off a brand new BMW at the school gate, preening like she owned the world. I told the others not to envy her. She wouldn't be strutting much longer. Some people, even if you leave them alone, will walk straight into their own destruction. Near graduation, Li Xuan's plagiarism suit finally gained traction. The talent agency behind Yuan Xia collapsed, leaving her without a backer and genuinely facing a lawsuit. And don't forget, she was still on disciplinary probation if she caused more trouble before graduation. She'd lose her diploma, and all 4 years would be for nothing. Yuan Xia came rushing back to the dorm late at night, crying and begging Li Xuan to drop the case. That same night, she deleted her accounts on the platform and disbanded her fan groups. Li Xuan refused to forgive. When the court ruling came, Yuan Xia lost. Fearing public backlash, The university expelled her, and her diploma went up in smoke. Li Xuan didn't want compensation. Only that Yuanxia donate every cent she'd earned from social media over those 2 years, and issue a full public apology. That why Yuanxia had no choice but to comply. Right after posting the apology letter, she vanished without a trace, leaving us only one WeChat message. Don't get cocky. That little social media money isn't even enough for me to buy a car. You think I care? What's so great about an university diploma? I can buy a master's, a PhD. With money, I can do anything. Goodbye, you bunch of country bumpkins. Never contact me again. The rich guy whose Maybach had been scratched that year knew Yuanxia. While shopping in Hong Kong, he sent me a photo, saying he'd run into her attending a bridging program, likely preparing to do a master's there the following year. That was in 2018. That the next year was 2019. That studying in Hong Kong. That why Yuanxia's money wasn't clean. Either the ASP2P platforms collapsed and multiple financial company chairmen were arrested. I heard that G0A had been locked up too. Only then did I recall that in my last life, during senior year, the entrepreneurial project he kept frantically urging me to invest in had been exactly that, a P2P platform. Thank goodness I'd been focused on my studies back then and deleted him. Later, his scheme never took off. Meanwhile, in the previous life, Yuanxia hadn't plagiarized Li Xuan or gone the self-media route, so she held no value for G0A and dodged that bullet. This time, two stupid, rotten people found each other and, at last, reaped their own bitter harvest. I heard that Yuanxia never did get to do that master's. After 2019, no one heard from her again. 4 years after graduation, Su Yumeng, Li Xuan, and I got together for a small reunion. Everyone was doing all right. Li Xuan was about to become a 1 million follower content creator, not a top-tier influencer, but her career was finally on the right track. Su Yumeng's parents were still alive and in excellent health, already planning their retirement. As we chatted, a news alert suddenly popped up on my phone. Wanted financial crimes suspect Yuanxia, also known as Yu Shuang, apprehended in Shenzhen.